to grow. That is when growth is so important. And we are going to start from the scratch all the way to 5 years. So, welcome once again. To all our viewers, we say thank you. And those who are yet to join us, hurry up and join, and let's all learn. So, we are going to start from 0 to 6 months, which we all know is exclusive breastfeeding. The child doesn't need any herbal concoction, the child doesn't need any glucose, the child doesn't need any water, the child doesn't need any gripe water. All the child needs is breast milk. So all depends on the mother. Mother needs to feed and feed properly by taking her 4-star diet adequately and as often as she needs to feed herself so that the breast milk will be enough for the baby. The trick is you need to feed a lot. You need to work yourself up psychologically to know that the child from 0 to 6 months depends solely on the breast milk, doesn't depend on anything than the breast milk. So when you do all these things, then enough of fluid as such for the mother, she really needs that fluid also. And we know that the breast milk contains all that the child needs from 0 to 6 months. So to all mothers who are doing exclusive breastfeeding, we say bravo to you. And we already know the benefits. I'll just go to only one. That is, it gives the child the immunity he or she needs. It gives the child immunity. And when you have good immunity, automatically you can survive any harsh conditions around you. You are going to thrive as a baby, and your IQ will increase. At the same time, also digestion will take place fast for the child to grow and grow well. Now, from 6 months to 12 months, that is from 6 months to a year, the breast milk is not enough for our baby. It's not enough at all. So we need to add complementary feeding to the breast milk. So that's where the thickness come in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's when the thickness come in. When the thickness is part, the texture, how often and how much. So complementary feeding starts from 6 months. So the texture, it should be thick, well mashed, without pepper. So when you look on your screen currently as of now, you see we have two different foods on the spoon. One we've crossed, we said it's a no, 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 no. And the other, that shows us how thick our porridge should be. Then how often? How often we need it 2 to 3 times in a day. Then how much? The child needs 2 to 3 tablespoons each meal. So tablespoon is the big spoon on your screen you can see. So that is 1 tablespoon is equivalent to 2 teaspoons. So if your child is taking 2 or 3 tablespoons, then it's between 4 to 6 teaspoons per each meal. Let me go over it. I like what is on the screen. So complementary feeding starts from 6 months. So we feed morning and evening. And the texture should be thick, it should be well mashed without pepper. So from 6 months to 12 months, we are saying that especially from 6 months to 8 months, the child doesn't need pepper because we are now trying to introduce the child to complementary feeding. So Everything needs to be gradual for the child. And how often we feed the child 2 to 3 times in a day. Then how much is 2 to 3 times per meal? So when you know all this, you put all these things into consideration. Then before we feed our baby, we first wash our hands. And we teach the child exactly 6 months to know that before you eat, you wash your hands with water and soap. So clean water and soap. After you rinse your hands with clean water, then you clean before you can give your child the complementary feeds. Now, from 8 months to a year, you can just add a little of iodinated salt and just not a pinch before the pinch. Then just a little of pepper, because we want to introduce the child gradually to the family food that we are taking. The thickness still stands. The texture, it should be so thicker. Yes, thank you very much. It should be thicker. Then how often? How often? It should be 3 times plus a snack. 3 times plus a snack. Then how much? We should feed the child 3 tablespoons per feed. Then you can increase it gradually. Then we give fruits every day. So from 9 months to 12 months or 8 to 12 months, the child needs the fruits. Then it should be variety of food. Kids love foods that are colorful, that are beautiful, that catches the eye. At the same time, it needs to be appetizing for the child. So you realize that from 6 months to 8 months, the diet is different. 9 months to 12 months, the diet is different because now the child is growing. So when the child is growing, now we introduce a child to things that are higher than before. Now, 9 to 12 months, the child is able to hold the food. That's why we encourage that you wash hands first. You clean. So when you give the fruits to the child is able to hold it and try to eat it. All that we are doing is to help the child to know the grasping reflex. The child needs those reflexes. The child is able to pick. The child is able to put it in his or her mouth. The child is able to chew. That is, the child indirectly is exercising the jaw. The child is able to swallow. The child is able to pick, eat, chew, swallow. They all contribute to the child's growth, and it helps the motor reflexes of the child. So you give the brain to work more whilst the child is growing. The child grows and learns with the brain actually working at each stage of the child's life. So feeding your child from day one all the way to 12 months is very, very important and crucial, because from day one, even the child sucking, the child is actually exercising the jaw, training the brain, then at the same time also bonding with the mother. Continues from 6 months to 12 months, because at the end of the day, there's that family for you to know that aside breast milk, We learn to sit together, we eat together. Even though your meal is different, you get closer to where we are. Then at the end of the day, from 6 months to 12 months, we don't stop the breastfeeding. We always top it up with the breast milk because the child needs the breast milk. We always top it up. So after each feed, which is the 4-star diet, when you look on your screen, you see baby learns from the one you breastfeed, then you wash baby's hands, baby is able to rinse, you sit baby down on our local mat that we have. Then whilst you are feeding the child, you are encouraging the child also to also eat. Don't think the child is making a mess. The child is not making a mess. And when you look on your left, the child that you see we have in the morning, when the child eats, we give fruit, eat again, we give snack, then we can eat again. So per each meal goes with a snack and a fruit in between. So at the end of the day, you realize that the child eats 5 times in a day, but all is supposed to be in bits, in bits, in bits. Then you should also bear in mind that the texture, as the child is growing after 10 months, the child is able to chew. So instead of it being puree, the child, some of the food, instead of you mashing it totally, you can leave some in it for the child to chew. You shouldn't be swallowing, swallowing, swallowing. Whilst the child is growing, from 10 months going, the child is able to chew and chew very well. So you can cut the food into smaller pieces so that the child can be picking on its own. The child can be picking on its own. Then it's supposed to be varieties. Varieties. Then when we look on our screen, 12 months to 24. So now our boy or our girl is a fully grown, matured, handsome gentleman or a beautiful girl. So now anything mommy is eating, he or she will also have his portion. So texture family foods should be sliced and finely chopped fruits. How often is 3 to 4 times. Now we've increased it instead of 2 to 3 times. Now it's 3 to 4 times in a day. Then we have the snacks, it should be twice. Snacks should be taken twice in a day, not once anymore. Then how much will take 3/4 or 3/4 of each meal? That is one full cup, that is 250 meals at each meal. So when you know 250 meals, you can even get a measuring cup if you are not sure as a mother. For starters, it has calibration on it so that when you are dishing your food, either your wache, your jollof rice, your bankun, your kenke, your okra soup, okra stew, your mpotompoto, your tom brown, anything that you are preparing towards any meal that we are preparing for our child is supposed to be 250 meals. So 250 meals in the morning, 250 meals in the evening, 250 meals in the afternoon. Then at the end of the day, we should always remember it's a 4-star diet. And we shouldn't forget our fruit. The fruit, we can change it. You can have banana, apple, melon, um, um, orange, any fruit that is in season, you can get it for your baby. Okay, I'm going to pause. Gloria Tete says, good evening, midwife Fubi. Gloria, good evening. How are you? And nice watching us. Please, did Yamvita and Cerelac give baby flames? Gloria, I wouldn't talk about Yamvita and Cerelac. But you know what I can also teach you to prepare for your baby, which is nutritious, which has everything that you need. All you need is a local rice, either the brown rice or a local white rice. You need soya bean. You can use millet. You can also use granules. You can use also maize. All these cereals that I'm mentioning, you can use all that. You roast it golden brown, then you send it to the mill. Go and mill all together, and you take a cup of it. You can use it for preparation. You can use it for the morning meal that you are buying these products. I don't want to mention names because I don't even know what it does. But one thing is, you preparing your child's meal is safer because you pick the ingredients. You made sure that the ones which are not good, you took all of them out of it before roasting them and sending it to the mill for you to grind them. Then you come back home, you pack them in a sealed container, airtight, so that there wouldn't be air entering, and they can be used over and over and over and over and over. And those ones are so nutritious because you get fiber, you get vitamin D, you get vitamin C, you get vitamin E, you get vitamin B12 plus, anything that the child needs adequately, you can. Aside that, we have some purees that they sell in the market that you can prepare yourself. For instance, banana, you can just mash it, then get honey and pour a little honey around it and add small milk. Even you can even express the breast milk because baby is supposed to breastfeed all the way to 2 years. Instead of you adding any milk, you can even squeeze your own milk and just add it for the baby. It's the same way you can even get pineapple. You just warm the water a little bit so that it will soften your pineapple. So you make sure the water is on fire already. The pineapple is already cut. It can be pineapple and melon, or pineapple and orange, or pineapple and apple. Then you make sure the water is slightly boiled. You put them in it just for a minute, you take it off, and you mash it together and add a sweetener, that is honey, to it. Okay, Gloria, so let me continue with it. Because my 7-month-old baby is Yamvita and Cerelac, he has been eating. And while feeding him, he will bring phlegms, thick ones, and he poops too the same time. Because of the phlegms, my baby is not comfortable at all. Gloria, sorry. So sorry to hear that. Now, what I'll advise, like what told you, I said earlier, what I'll advise is one, if baby brings out phlegms when you are feeding, it's telling us it's two-way. Either the baby is reacting to the feed that you are feeding the child with, or the preparation done is not properly done. Before even you prepare your baby's food, you need to wash your hands with clean water and soap. Rinse your hands with also clean water. When you look on our slides that we're showing, we even encourage the child to also wash their hands with water and soap, which is clean. After that, we also use clean water to rinse the hands. Then we take a clean cloth to also clean the hands. So, Gloria, that is the process even before you touch the food. Now, making sure that your bowl and your spoon is properly washed. There's one thing that you should also remember, that a child from 6 months to 2 years, their bowl should be washed separately from the family bowls. You don't put all together and wash. No, we don't do that. What we do is you wash the child's bowls first, then when you are done rinsing, you can use that same soapy water to wash the adult bowls. Then preparation. Otherwise, they've told you what you should put, quantity you should take, what you should do, that. Do we follow? If it's 2 scoops, do we follow? Even if it's the milk, it has a quantity. 1 scoop equals this amount of water. 2 scoops, but it's not. A lot of mothers don't read the preparation. They put all together and they are in a hurry just to mix things up and feed our baby. So if you prepare it, you should know, read, go over it, and make sure that you do it properly and adequately, and the quantity should be proportional. The other aspect is the child reacting to the food. So, what do we do? First, we stop the feeding, visit a nearby facility near you. Let them tell them what is actually happening to your baby when you feed your baby. Labs will be run. Maybe they'll take the stool. Maybe they'll take some of the phlegms that come out. They'll take a little bit blood sample. They'll do all those analysis. Maybe the child is reacting to the food. Maybe the child is not even well. Because normally children, when they are not well, feeding becomes a problem. So Gloria, these are the 2 options that we have. Either the child is reacting to the food and is not well, so you need to send the child to the hospital, or the preparation of preparing our food, there is a question mark on it. So I hope I've answered your question. If I have not, just bring in more questions. The ones you are not clear, just bring it back. I'm going to explain further to you so we can continue with our education. So, like I said earlier on, 12 months to 24, a gentleman or a young lady is all bloomed up, and a gentleman or a young lady can now feed on his or her own, even though it's going to be messy, but the child is learning. So we feed about 3/3 and 3/4 of the food. Then the 1/4, you just put it in front of her or him. Allow him to be taking it. But make sure wherever him or her is sitting, it's a clean environment. That's why when you look at our pictures that we show, those pictures shows that the child is always sitting on the mat with the mother. The child is not sitting on a bare floor, no, but on a mat which is clean, and the surroundings also are clean because children always like to play with their food. Yes, children, thank you so much. Children always like to play with their food, but at the end of the day, they will still finish everything that is in the bowl, even to the extent the ones on the mat, they will love to pick and be putting it in their mouth. Because at the end of the day, yes, thank you so much. Yes, this is the picture I love to see. This is the picture I love to see. So you see, a young man is sitting on the mat. Mommy is giving him some so that he picks it and he eats, because both of them have washed their hands with clean water, soap, and clean towel. Then also, from 2 years to 5 years, now our boy or our girl have started schooling, going up and down. So from home, he or she is already taught to wash hands before feeding. So that when he or she goes to school, at the end of the day, it wouldn't be a challenge. You see, training starts from the house. So that when teacher says, everybody go and wash your hands, they all move straight to the tap, which has a soap and a clean towel. There are some schools, every child bring his or her towel for cleaning of hands, cleaning of the face, cleaning of him or herself. So most school even encourage that always put a towel, about 4 pieces, 5 pieces in the child's bag every day, so that the child can get some to clean their hands. At the same time, also the child can get some to clean the face when the child is all sweaty. So that time, the child is able to feed him or herself. So we encourage 4 times in a day feeding, 3 times snack. Then we give also fruits. The child can eat twice in a day because we want digestion to take place. Because now they are eating just like us now. So digestion needs to take place. So we need a lot of fruits, a lot of water, and snack also. Because they are very active, they play a lot. They go round, 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 round. They need snacks in between so that they wouldn't go hungry. Then the child will grow steadily, so that we shouldn't forget. Every month we are supposed to send our child to child welfare clinic so that we'll know the growth pattern and the height pattern of the child. So when you put all these things together, at the end of the day, we are expecting that our child should grow. And all the diets should be a 4-star diet. All child food should be thick. That is from 6 months to 2 years. It should be thick porridge. And we breastfeed our children from 0 to 2 years. Then exclusive breastfeeding is 0 to 6 months. Is 0 to 6 months. So we shouldn't forget, it's not 1 year that we stop the breastfeeding, or 1 year, 9 months, 1 year, 11 months. No, it's supposed to be exactly 2 years. When the child celebrates his or her 2 years birthday and you've had the party, you've made all the noise, that is when the breastfeeding stops. Then child stays with family food till 5 years. But child welfare clinic starts from day one all the way to 5 years, because we know some children after 2 years, then the growth becomes a problem. That is, the feeding becomes a problem. So those children are put on a diet. They see the community health nurses and the public health nurses as often, and the nutrition officers as often, because we don't want our children to be marasmic or kwashiorkor children. Ophelia, good evening, midwife Ruby. I have 7 weeks baby. My breast milk is not flowing well. It took 1 week after delivery before the milk started flowing. So I added formula. But what I have observed is she's always constipated, and you have to add, you have to aid her before she can poop. Okay, what is actually the problem? I do the measurement correctly. Thanks. Ophelia, thank you so much. Thank you. So, Ophelia, adding breast milk and artificial milk, automatically our children will constipate. Another, we at Visit Cartoons Ghana support exclusive breastfeeding, 100%, that is 0 to 6 months. But with yours, I don't know if it was recommended by a pediatrician. Did you send a child to the hospital? I don't know. Because if you did, they are going to teach you. You normally breastfeed baby first. You don't give the formula first. You breastfeed first. Baby should empty both breasts. Ophelia, after baby belching, before you prepare the formula and you give. And when you give formula, automatically the pediatrician will add medication, because we know constipation comes along with baby formulas from 0 to 6 months, because the baby's digestive system is not fully grown to digest the formula, but is fully grown to digest breast milk. So, what I will encourage, I'm not going to mention medications here. Try as much as you can to go to the clinic on Monday. If you can go even tomorrow because it's late, you can go tomorrow. No problem, you can. Let them know there are two medications they will add so that it will be easy for the child to poo-poo. So sorry. And you know, when they constipate, they will cry, there will be air in their tummy, the tummy will be so shiny, baby will be crying even when the poop is coming. Then, Ophelia, what I can also tell you as a mother is try and express more. The more you express, the more a lot of milk is being produced in both breasts. So try and express more. Express more. If you have a breast pump, beginning you wouldn't be seeing so much milk coming out. But the more you do that process, we have our own local remedies. That is the ones that we eat. We have uh, the lamujins, we have the sobulos, we have the I want to remember. There's one that my mothers always talk about that it really works. Um, Aliha. I don't know how I should say it for you to get it. The one the mothers carry in the calabash and they sell that has sugar. The one they've burned the corn, they've roasted it in asana. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, asana. That one. Yes. Then we have the otinshino. That's what the guys will say that when our kenke, when it's fully done, you see the water that comes around it. It's also good. It also helps for you to get enough of breast milk. So you add a little bit of sugar, more of milk, and you mix it and you drink. So these are the local remedies you can take as a mother whilst breastfeeding by adding your 4-star diet. You add all these things to it and you sip it. And those ones, aside you doing the mashke with the granite, each one you can add granite to it. And you should be taking it very often. The more you take it, the more production of milk is done, because all these things I've mentioned, they are fluid. So it's so easy for the body to absorb for you to produce. So Ophelia, I hope I've answered your question. If I've not, you can come back again and we can delve into it for you to get more understanding into that. So it's just unfortunate baby is constipating. And even you realize that there's two color. Instead of it being yellowish, it turns. It becomes different. It becomes light yellow with white patches in it. Some even becomes greenish. Yes. So breast milk is the best remedy. Yeah, it is. Because when you give your child breast milk, there is no way your child will constipate. And the child gets all the nutrients he or she needs. Okay, Ophelia. So please, as much as you can, it's just unfortunate because now things are changing. Science is progressing. There are mothers when they deliver. After 24 hours, if the breast milk is not coming, there is the medication that can be given to you, the mother, that aids in milk production before even you are being discharged home. So I don't know where you had your baby, but I'm so sorry for not you getting breast milk for a whole day for your baby. Then you have to stick to formula and breast milk. But I'm just hoping that the local remedies I've given you as a mother that you have to do for yourself, you should be able to do it so that we can have enough breast milk for your baby. Then we can put the formula aside. Even when there's some left, you can even use it to prepare your own porridge. You eat it. Definitely, baby will get enough. Okay. So, Ophelia, I'm so sorry for the baby because I'm really feeling for the baby. I've seen babies who constipate and about a week they've not pooped and it's so uncomfortable for them. The noise, even when the poop is coming, they will cry before even the poop, just a little will come. So I know where you are coming from, especially in the evening. If they are not able to poop, they won't sleep for you to even also sleep. And when it becomes like that, you, the mother, you become so disturbed because you don't know what is happening to your baby. I don't know. Um, I, okay, so Ophelia, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Midwife Ruby. Everything said is well noted. Thank you, Ophelia. They gave the medication before I left the hospital, but it didn't work for me. Okay, so Ophelia, you should have gone back. You should have gone back. But like I said, we've passed that stage now. Now some is coming. So what we should do so that more will flow is what I have taught you on set now. So aside our 4-star diet that we are already eating, we should add the local drinks that I've spoken about. You can add, take as much as you can. And your food, I know, is liquid base, is not stew base. No, it's going to be lot of soup. So we should continue with that. And I know that breast milk will come in December. Philia, come back and come and tell me if I want to know the results now. I want to know how much now you are able to express the number of bottles you get, and if baby is now taking the breast milk more than the formula. I'll be glad if baby will be taken off the formula totally so that we can breastfeed our baby. Because when you breastfeed the baby, all the antibodies, all the immunity, all anything that the child needs to thrive from 0 to 6 months, is all is in the breast milk. You can't get it anywhere than the breast milk. So, Ophelia, come back in December. I'll be waiting for you. Come and tell me because you said all noted. So, I want you to come back and let me know that at least we tried this, we tried that, and this one worked for us. So, we are progressing from maybe expressing only 1 bottle to maybe 4 bottles because I know that you can do it. So, just do that for us. And Ophelia, thank you. Then, to all our viewers also watching, would like to say thank you and bring in more of your questions about the diet of our babies because feeding and understanding your child is so challenging, especially for first time moms. You feed this, my child is not feeding. But one thing we should know that when you start feeding your child, it's an experiment. There are some children, they will love banana. Others also love apple. Others also love pineapple. Others also love melon. So you feed the first one, the child doesn't take it at all. You shouldn't give up. You should be trying, trying, trying. Then you will know the type of feeds the child like. There are some children, they don't like eggs, but they like milk. There are others also, they love to even at that early 6 months. When you mash chicken, they will chew all with those 4 teeth that they have in front of them. They'll finish the chicken, just mash it for them, and they will chew. So every child or every um, uh, baby has what she likes and what he don't likes. But you as a mother needs to be patient and just learn to actually be with the child. And you have to be patient also when you are feeding your child. When you are not patient, it's going to be a challenge for you because you need to understand your child. And to all first time moms who are trying so much, we say don't stop, continue. Because gradually you get with your first child, that's when you learn so that the other children, it will be easy for you to get it and get it right. Now, we've delved so much into feeding our children. So we are going to learn some little preparations on how to prepare some local remedies back home for our babies. For instance, the potompoto. You can use sweet potato, you can use yam, you can use cocoyam. All these can be used for potompoto. You need onion and you need tomatoes and you need a little of palm oil, or you can even let go of the palm oil. Then also you need fish or shrimp powder. That is from 6 months to 8 months. Those ones you need the powder in it. Some mothers also prefer, after even adding the fish powder and the shrimp powder, they love to even add boiled egg after it's all done. They'll cook the egg, and when you are cooking egg for the child, it shouldn't be fully cooked. Those ones you don't get any nutrients out of it. You don't get anything out of it. Rather, it should be semi-cooked so that you get all the nutrients in the egg for the child. I hope we are getting it. Then when you put your yam or cocoyam or sweet potato on the fire, you can put your tomatoes, you can put your um, onion, then let it boil together, let it soften. Then at the end of the day, I think I have a question, just a minute. I think I have a question on my phone, which I need to attend to that. Priscilla, Prissy, I'm coming in. Just I'll attend to you just a second. Just a second. Just a second. So Prissy, I was trying to open my phone because there was a question which I was trying to answer. So, Prissy, my baby doesn't eat anything solid at all. You have to force before he even takes the cocoa. What can I do, please? He only drinks water a lot. Prissy, before I answer your question, I need to know how old is your baby. If you wouldn't mind, I need to know how old is your baby. How old is your baby? So if you can bring that one, then I can just answer your question, please. I can just answer your question. I just need to know how old is your baby, then I can. Sorry once again. You know, we had a little doom, so forgive us. I hope we had to on our generator. That's why I went off. Prissy, I'm back to you. So if your child is 6 months to 2 years, let me assume by that, if you thank you to all my crew who gave me my light back. This doomsaw issue, let it slide. We are back and we are live. So 6 to 2 years, you should, okay, 15 months, Prissy, that's wonderful. So like I said, I don't know how you feed a child, but we always encourage our mothers to feed their children in bits. We should add snacks to it and fruits also in varieties. You should know fruits that are handy for children, because if you know fruits that are handy for children, automatically your child will feed and feed well. Then you should try. I'll use myself as a typical example. My children, one is choicy, the others are not. Now, one, feeding from 6 months going, we have to sing, we have to dance before he eats. The others, you don't need to sing. All you need to know is he doesn't like this. Okay, let me change it to this. I had to change the first day I was feeding, I had to change foods about 5 times before. Then, if you don't teach the child at an early age, from 9 months going, to chew, it becomes a challenge as a mother, because the child is actually used to swallowing food which are smooth throughout. When you don't encourage the child to be chewing, to be picking the food by him or herself, it will be a challenge. The child will be 2 years and all the child will like is porridge. Anything that has chewable things in it, the child will tell you, I won't eat. Even jollof, you have to even do it like omutu, because the child is used to swallowing. So, Prissy, it's just unfortunate for you, but it's not late. What I will encourage you and tell you is you can start. It's not going to be easy because your child is grown 15 months. It's all grown up. She's all grown up. So, aside that, there are also vitamins that you can add that will boost the appetite of the child. Those ones you need to visit the public health nurse or the community health nurse or your midwife. Or if you have a family doctor, you can go there and just tell the family doctor, I heard from midwife Ruby that there are vitamins that can be given to a child to boost the child to feed or eat. It's like a form of appetizers. When you give them, it makes them hungry more. So when you give them the food, they will eat. So they'll write it for you. But that one is for a duration. The child wouldn't depend on it at all. No, it's just for a duration. Because the more the child is feeding properly, the more they take the baby or the child off it, so that the child can eat the way he or she is supposed to feed. So, Prissy, kudos to you. I know you are doing so well, so well. I'll encourage you to do more. I'll encourage you to do more so that baby can eat and eat well. Okay? Yes. I hope it's all good for us. I hope it's all okay for us, isn't it? But if you have more questions, feel free, bring it. So let's change the way we feed. That is, we shouldn't allow the child to eat everything at a go. No. We feed in bits. The food should be catchy. Even the bowl you are using to feed the child should also be catchy. You should have those flowers, those fruits. You know, kids have their own special bowls, special spoons that helps them to eat. Then there are things you can do. Like I said, 15 months automatically needs 2 snacks, 3 feeds, and 2 fruits. Even you can go as far as snacks, 2 fruits, and 3 feeds. So when you realize your child is supposed to eat 7 times in a day, 7 times in a day, Prissy. So it's not the child eating maybe a bowl of banku with okra. Maybe the banku, the ball is like, maybe, let me say, this my fist, and then you divide it by 3. So the child feeds with just one, with your okra stew, or with your palm nut soup or your groundnut soup. And then you come back again. You don't give the banku again. You can go and take maybe uwachi, or you can take rice and stew, or yam, or plantain, or potato, anyone, or in poto or a pepperensa. You see, you should mix the diet so that it wouldn't be one way, because that is what, as a mother myself and as a midwife, at the same time as a nurse also, I have learned that with kids, when it comes to them, you need to be patient, you need to have time, you need to feed them rightly, and you need to feed them with things that actually makes them to know that eating is enjoyable, it's not a punishment. To us adults, we understand it's something, it's a necessity that you need. Marista, that's my neighbor. She's watching me all the way from Jamaica, Canada. Marissa, I love you. Thank you for joining. Hi, 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 hi. Yes, that's my neighbor. I love her. She always encourages me to do more. Then also, we'll say that feeding our children is a pleasant experience, personally. And to all mothers, I know you enjoy it, because by the time you finish feeding your child, you've eaten some. Yes, you enjoy it with your baby. Yes, you do. So at the end of the day, we feed appropriately. And when the child grows after 2, 3 years, exactly even 2.5 years, they know that it's a necessity, because he or she will come and stand in front of you and tell you, I'm hungry. But now to them, it's not a necessity. To them, they feel you are worrying them. So things you have to do to make the feeding enjoyable, things that you have to do to make it enticing, appetizing, you always have to recreate as a mother. You are the chief engineer when it comes to diet. You are the chief nutritionist. You are the chief cook. You are everything, so that the child needs adequately. Then, no matter what the challenge is, your midwife is your friend, your public health nurse is your friend, your community health nurse is your friend, your family doctor is your friend. Whatever challenge you are having, just go to them. They'll help you to draw the diet plan. They'll help you on how you should go about it. They'll help you for you to know what and what you should add, what and what you should take out, how you should go about it. Then, at the end of the day, you bring all together for your baby. Gloria, you are always welcome. That's why we are here for you. You are always welcome. That's why we are here for you, because we always want our mothers to feel comfortable. We want them to enjoy motherhood. At the same time, also, we want them to learn, so that they can also share when they go out and they meet friends. When somebody is saying something which is not true, you can also contribute and let them know that I learned from here that on this page is the health chat with midwife Ruby. I learned this, that, and I did it, and it's working for me. So I think you need to join the program, listen, and also learn, so that you will use it for your baby. Like I said, I was teaching my mothers how to prepare the poto. Yes. And let me run that up. Then I'll teach you how to also do a nice puree. It could be apple. The apple, you can just cut it into slices. You can even add grapes, or add melon, add pineapple, any fruit of your choice. and just let the water boil. When you see it is boiling, not too much water, you just put your fruit into it just for a minute. You take it out of the water, making sure the water is not too much. Then you mash it together in the baby's fruit bowl. Just gradually mash it. You don't need any blender. All you need is there's a mash for mashing babies or children's fruits. That same mash can be used to mash their potatoes. When you are preparing potatoes with egg, fresh egg, you don't need it cooked. You cook the potatoes, you just add the fresh egg to it, you mash it together, and you add just a little honey on it, and you feed the baby. That is a sweetener for the child. Then your fruit, you mash it. You add a small honey. The honey there, you need it. Just a little honey on it. And you feed. You don't need sugar in it. If you want to add milk, fine. You can equally even express the milk and add it to the fruit and feed your child with. Like the banana doesn't need heat because banana is not hard. So banana, you just mash it into it. Even your granite, you can actually blend it and let it be fine. Then you add it to the banana. You add a little bit of milk, add a little bit of honey, and you feed your baby with. These ones are appetizers that when you feed your child with, when you are feeding them, they will eat more. And we know that children need to grow, children need to thrive. But one thing you should also bear in mind that girls grow faster than boys. When you look in your child welfare clinic book that you send for child welfare clinic, you know there's a different chart for boys and there's a different chart for girls. The growth pattern are not the same. The milestone of every child is different. You can't compare child A to child B, no. But the bottom line is there's a path all the children need to be. One will be higher, one will be in between, one will be below the line, but the milestone is the same. But the growth pattern is different. 6 months, somebody can crawl. 6 months, somebody will also sit down. 6 months, somebody will do nothing and wait for 9 months and get up and walk. So, milestone for children, we shouldn't compare our children. Feeding your first child doesn't, the way it went smoothly for you, doesn't mean feeding your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh child is going to be the same. No. So, as mothers, like I said, we need to be patient with our children. We need to be that mother who is always ready to sit and eat with the child. Find ways and means that will encourage the child to eat. Make it enjoyable. There are some children, when you play music, they sit down quietly and they feed. The others, they want you to be chatting with them while they are eating, telling them that at the end of the day, food is sweet. There are others, they want you to dance for them. You dance and dance and dance and then they become so happy when you start feeding them, they will eat. Others, too, whilst you are singing, you are dancing and you are feeding them. That is the joy of motherhood. Others, too, they don't want any noise. Quietly, and you feed. For my producer, next month is going to be wonderful. We are discussing developmental milestone next month for everybody. So bring in more friends to come and enjoy. Bring in more people, especially our dads. Next month, we are expecting you to be part of our developmental milestone because you should know this so that you be a reminder to us when we are not seeing certain things. You can equally ask, I've not seen that my girl or my boy is doing this. So because I heard from midwife Ruby that she said the child should be able to do this, the child should be able to do that. So on behalf of my crew, I'd like to say thank you so much for being part of us this month of November. Can't wait to see you in December. I'll say thank you so much to PZ Customs Ghana. To all my viewers who continue to come to the party anytime we call you, we say we love you. Big, 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 big love for you. We can't wait to see you next month to share what we have with you. And don't forget, in December, we are preparing for Christmas. So we'll be here to learn. At the same time, also enjoy the Christmas in abundance. I love you. And once again, thank you. Bye.